You're listening to The Awareness Angle, cutting through the cyber noise to bring you the stuff that actually matters. Scams, screw-ups, and stories worth knowing. These are our views, not our employers. Any opinions are our own. I'm Ant Davis, and as always, I'm joined by Luke Pettigrew. Hello, Luke.
Hey, Ant. Hey, everyone. How are we doing?
All good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Yeah. How's your week?
Week's been good. I've been on holiday this week, so I'm actually recording this from Norfolk, not Norfolk, Virginia, where last year's SANS conference was, but Norfolk in the UK. So I'm dealing with rural internet and haven't got my normal streaming set up. So this is all. I'm sat on the edge of a bed with a bedside table and lamps and stuff. So it's all a bit different, but that's cool. That's like, hopefully it sounds okay. And hopefully it records and works. And so, yeah, hopefully there's an episode this week.
Crossed.
Yeah. How about your week? You been up to anything?
Yeah, it's been all right. Nothing too much. Lots of planning and standard week of work, I guess. Been quite relaxed outside of that, though. So
cool.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of other updates this week. We have some new business cards. I say business cards, that's a really old way to frame it, but we've ordered some promotional little handout cards that we're going to take to, I'm going to take to Chicago next week. And we've got 4 awesome sticker designs as well that we're going to take out to Chicago and give them out, some awareness angle promotional stickers. And they're cool. If you're a human-focused cybersecurity professional, these stickers are probably for you. So if you're at the summit in Chicago, the SANS Security Awareness Summit next week, come and find me, get a couple of free stickers. And if not, these stickers will be available on our brand new website really, really soon, which is exciting. New website. We launched a new website last week. Same address, riskycreative.com, but we've moved platforms. We're on a new platform now. We're launching memberships. So if you do want to become a member, you can. We'll nail on the details of those in the coming weeks. They're there at the moment, but we haven't really nailed on what each membership level gets. So if you want to wait, you can wait. If you want to sign up now, you can be like one of our early adopters. You can. It's really, really cheap. Price of a coffee is what they say, I think. That's all there. Before we get to the news, subscribe to our newsletter, riskycreative.com. We'll search the awareness angle on LinkedIn. Over nearly 800 people now every single week get our newsletter every Monday morning in their inbox. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. No one's hearing me. We need more subscribers on YouTube. So if you can search for Risky Creative or follow the links, please subscribe to our channel. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers on there. We're currently just under 500, so we need more of you subscribing to YouTube, please. That would be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little giveaway, maybe some stickers or something.
That's a really good idea. We'll work that out. We'll do a little, we'll do a little sign up subscriber giveaway. I like that. That's cool. Right. Okay. So that's all the BAU. I suppose right now, let's get on with the news.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. Do you want me to kick off this week?
Yeah. That's cool.
First one we had this week. Again, last week was a bit of an Online Safety Act special. So if you're bored of hearing about the UK's Online Safety Act, please bear with us. It's very short. There's not a lot of it this week. But one thing we did talk about last week was how companies now have to authenticate a user's identity if they're going to access certain types of content. This could be not safe for work content. It could be pornography. It could be conversations that aren't suitable for people under the age of 18. So the users must now verify their age on Reddit, X, a whole host of different things. But privacy campaigners are raising red flags against this. So millions of Britons have handed over biometric data, ID, financial data to third-party firms, and these are overseas third-party firms. A lot of them have a poor privacy track record or an unknown privacy track record, which is probably more common. Some have been linked to controversial figures and intelligence agencies. So critics have argued that there's no public oversight on this, no certification standards, and very little incentive for companies to prioritize user privacy. So the government claims that the protection is there via existing laws, but campaigners say that this system is risky, it's opaque, and users don't really have a choice. They need to share this data or accept a censored internet, which kind of isn't what the internet was about. So,
it's wild times. And it's not just the UK now, is it? It's everybody's getting bored, it seems.
Well, I think
US and
it unfortunately it seems like the UK bringing in this Online Safety Act has spurred other countries to do the same thing, which is, I mean, they've said age verification services used by social media platforms include a company funded by a Trump-supporting billionaire and a firm set up by former Israeli intelligence officers. So, when you're taking that selfie or sending a copy of your driver's license, where is that data going? Many people don't know. And they quite often will be going to the cheapest bidder. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's frightening. It does. Doesn't it feel like the UK government didn't really think this one through? They've thought about fixing the problem, but then they haven't thought about VPNs. They haven't thought about age verification. Like, who's actually going to do the age verification? Let's put a standard in place so companies have to meet a certain risk criteria, and then they're approved, and then people could go and get one from this approved list. Maybe even the pricing could be agreed at that point. Everybody on the approved list is going to cost X amount of money. Then people, it does away with all of this. It's silly. It's really, really silly that it's worked out this way.
Yeah, no. Just be interested to see what happens in the future.
It will. It's it says one of the companies has had repeated data breaches. The ex-intelligence agents run one of the firms, Peter Thiel, who's one of the big American political backers, a company that he runs. And it makes you wonder, this data is probably going to be used for different things at some point as well. The
whole thing around it's supposed to be deleted after X days, but there's no guarantees that these companies are following that practice, as we've seen with other data breaches recently, with data that should have been removed and has just lived there in an unprotected database. So, yeah.
The other problem is these companies face massive fines for not, like, if I had a website that hosted not safe for work content, it's me that would face the fine for underage users accessing that content. But then there's nothing controlling me saying that I must get someone of a certain standard or someone of a certain quality to do that age verification. And indeed, that's where the problem is. We've just pushed the problem down the road. We've just kicked the can over to someone else. And now, if these companies are abroad, they're not, the ICO that is UK, isn't it? They're different data protection laws in different countries. So if my data is now in, I don't know, Uzbekistan or somewhere like that, I don't know what their data protection laws are compared to ours. It does kind of seem like it's just passed the buck and created a new problem. And that's even without VPNs and Sims characters and Norman Reedus and all that kind of thing. But yeah.
Just realised I think we're live streaming. Judging by some of this interface. I don't know if that means it's recording or not. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, I think it is. But we might be going live as well. That's a good test for Thursday.
Yeah. Hello, everyone who's listening live. I don't know if there is.
I didn't realise that. So I was setting some stuff up and it appears we might be. So that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Be careful what we say.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on to the next one, I guess.
Move on to the next one.
So Microsoft recall back in the news. I feel like we spoke about this one before, to be honest, but yeah, this the Register news article talks about how Microsoft recall can still nab credit cards, passwords, and usernames, and all other kind of information. When Microsoft have claimed that that doesn't happen now, but yeah, there's like a security filter that's supposed to stop that, I believe. But yeah, tests by the Register show that whilst recall occasionally blocks previously sensitive content, it fails when certain cues are removed, and I assume that's maybe what is on the screen. It doesn't, I guess, recognize these things properly, and then yeah, obviously stores all these screenshots, which contain all this data now. So yeah, another bit of a mess up by recall.
Recall's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we said last week that they'd paused the rollout and it's gone back to the Windows Insider kind of testing. But it's still, it's still obviously around, isn't it? And it's still gonna come. And it's frightening, really, that they're putting so much emphasis on this. Obviously, Microsoft are all in on the AI. We said last week, they're so busy wondering what they can do that they're not. It seems like they're not stopping to think what they should do. So,
yeah, we can share it here if I quickly. Can I share the screen? I believe I can. If I bring up this screenshot, so this is an example that they showed, and yeah, it captured the credit card entry form on the right, and obviously it should have been blocked. And that's just a simple test. Maybe on a more sophisticated looking checkout page, it would be blocked correctly. Yeah, and then the same here for passwords in a note doc. Obviously, the filtering isn't quite up to scratch yet, by the looks of it. And yeah, obviously these supposedly live in an encrypted space on your storage, but all you need is the user PIN to access it. And obviously, if your computer gets hijacked, then you got all this data is available to a cyber criminal, I guess. Lots of issues with that.
Yeah, recall is a worrying one. It's be nice if it went away, but it's probably not going to go away. It probably is going to be the norm. But hopefully by the time it does roll out properly, we're seeing these issues now. You hope that it will get ironed out and the problems will go away and it will actually be sorted by the time it goes to full feature and turns up on every single Windows device. But
yeah,
and I know people are going to say, oh, it's great, you can block it by group policy, and many organizations, you could block this by group policy, I'm sure. There'll be ways to do it, but not all organizations, have the ability to block stuff at a group policy level. Many small businesses won't be aware of what that is or won't pay for the right IT support level to do that. They won't be managing devices like that. And then sole traders, people at home, just normal average human beings, this data's out there and being scooped up. So it's, it's not ideal.
BYOD as well for certain businesses that allow that. And people can just be doing work things with their recall PC and just collecting all that.
It's maybe not even BYOD. It's also places, it's not even where BYOD is allowed, but it's places where BYOD isn't necessarily allowed, but it's not prevented. Like now everyone's online. If the work issued laptop isn't quite the laptop you want to do, or it is a laptop and you've got a nice desktop setup, then perhaps you'd rather use your desktop setup. And if nothing's stopping you from logging into these systems, then you'll just log into these systems. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Yeah. Go on, next story.
Yes. So this one is actually, this isn't I'm going to skip this one. I'll come to this one in the topic section because this is an old one, but it was quite interesting, quite relevant. So let me jump onto this one, which is, this is the city of Hamilton, okay, in the States. in 2024, they had a devastating ransomware attack, and they thought it was going to be okay because they had $5 million of cyber insurance. Well, it turns out that their claim for cyber insurance has been denied because many departments failed to implement multi-factor authentication, which was a known requirement in their policy. So we spoke last week about the city of St. Paul's being hit by a cyber attack. They're called in the National Guard. So this stuff happens regularly, okay? And it happens here in the UK as well. 80% of Hamilton's city systems were paralysed, and hackers demanded 18.5 million in ransom. And the city refused to pay and has spent nearly $20 million rebuilding systems. And that's still going on. The costs are still going through to 2026, they say. And the city are like, look, it would have happened regardless. Even if MFA was there, it would have happened. But the insurance company disagreed and said that the absence of MFA was the root cause of this. And here's the awareness angle on this. This is the human angle. Staff said that the resistance to MFA, there was resistance to MFA adoption. People didn't want to do it. And councillors expressed frustration at the lack of accountability and high cost to residents. So, yeah, it goes to show, like, if you don't get these systems up to scratch, you know, look at your insurance documents and find out what you have to do, because there is a chance your insurance won't pay out. I was kind of convinced. I was of an opinion that M&S might have this problem with their cyber insurance. Like, I'm unfamiliar with M&S's systems. Okay, I haven't worked at M&S. I've got no idea what their setup's like. But you kind of, you know, if there's a way for an insurance company to not pay, then it might happen. So, knowing organisations I know and are familiar with, and conversations I've had with people at different businesses, not every organisation has every box ticked, and there's always ways around. There's always, you know, gaps. Make sure your insurance policy is happy with those gaps, I think, is what we're saying.
Yeah. It's not one that you would think about, I guess. Well, at least not, most people won't. People that are dealing with the cyber insurance, I'm sure they probably will, but it's even like your personal insurance, that your car and house, you do something slightly wrong, void the policy without realising.
It's simple on cars, isn't it? Like, if you make certain modifications to a car, then it could be that nullifies your car insurance, and it could be something as simple as like I don't know, it could be a sticker or a slight modification to the engine or a change in suspension or something like that. Yeah. So you have to really pay attention to your insurance policy. I think if you've got people defining that policy, make sure that your entire tech team are aware of what's required as per the policy.
That's an interesting one to think about.
Yeah. Did you want to move on to the next one? Yeah.
So this one here is Proton have launched a free standalone cross-platform Authenticator app. So yeah, they've released a free open source app for all major platforms. So that's Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. And I guess the difference here is that, unlike other Authenticator apps, this one doesn't track users, show ads, or lock you into an ecosystem, and doesn't even require a Proton account to use it. So I mean, Proton are fairly well known. A lot of all about privacy, I guess, is their sort of thing. Based in Switzerland.
Yeah.
I guess that's their main selling point. It's secure and private, more private than other companies, I guess. So this has this new Authenticator app has end-to-end encryption, backups, cross-device syncing, biometric locks, and can import and export things as well. And it says here about a feature that's missing from a lot of their competitors. So it might be one to check out if you're looking for a new Authenticator app. It's a privacy first type thing.
Yeah, Proton's thing has always been privacy. which is great. I remember having a Proton email. Proton have got VPN as well. So that's really, really cool. If you're keen on your privacy, then I think this is the way to go. I saw a post so I found out about this because I saw someone that I follow on LinkedIn called Mishal Khan, who goes by the Hacker CISO. He's like he's quite good on LinkedIn, posts lots of stuff about OSINT and ethical hacking and stuff like that. So he'd posted, I think he'd reshared a post or commented on a post that said it wasn't compatible with, or he'd had issues getting this on Harmony OS, which is it's an Android fork, isn't it? A privacy first, secure Android fork. So that's where I saw this. So there might be issues with it running on Harmony if you're running Harmony OS on a mobile phone. But it's nice having Proton's good because it is decentralized of sorts. It's there, it's private. Privacy is their main thing, and it's not tied in with what the others, Google, Microsoft, and not everyone wants to be with Google or Microsoft or other authenticator apps that are available. So
reminds me as well of the Microsoft Authenticator removing passwords from the storage of that. I don't know if this has that or if it's just for authentication, but I guess
that deadline's gone now, hasn't it? I'm sure that was July.
I think
the password autofill from Microsoft's Authenticator app had gone.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. The next one, and this is an online kind of awareness in Australia, The Guardian in Australia. I saw this. Scammers are exploiting the weight loss drug craze by launching fake online ghost stories that claim to sell Ozempic-style treatments. So ads impersonating well-known dietitians, we've talked about that before, falsely claiming that. So one called Lindy Cohen, and it was falsely claiming that she'd endorsed a plant-based GLP-1 solution. And it used AI-generated before and after photos and fake testimonials, tricking users into buying unregulated products through shady websites and platforms like Facebook. They appeared to be locally made, but you could find the products on AliExpress and eBay. One fake site remained live even after the product page was removed. Facebook and Google, of course, have been used to spread malvertising campaigns, impersonated trusted AI services. You can't trust anything you see on Facebook. And sadly, it's getting that way with Google as well, it would seem. Scammers are now faking endorsements with real names and AI images to make fake health products seem legit. So teach people, the message on this is just verify before you trust. Just because you see it online doesn't mean it's real, doesn't mean it's there. So, these, sorry, I said ghost stories at the beginning of this story. I meant ghost stores. So these are like fake shopping stores. These aren't ghost stories. Fake stores, similar to what we said last week or a couple of weeks ago with the Dixon one. These aren't real. It's really easy to build an online store now. With vibe coding and AI helping you to build these things, but you can knock them up in real time, and there's kits to do this stuff as well. So, just because it looks legitimate doesn't mean it is, which has made it really difficult trying to start a niche business, I suppose. I mean, I think now with us, we've got a store now, or, there's very little available on it at the moment, and we're talking about adding things, but how is a legitimate business, not that we're doing this to like make fortunes or anything, like this isn't a business for us. This is just to fund the hobby of this podcast. But if you were a legitimate business trying to get started, you've now not only got competitors, but you've got competitors in the form of scam shops and scammers and they'll probably, if you're successful, they'll jump on your brand like they did with Dixon.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. We've seen that, with social media, obviously these things appear on as paid ads because they can do that, and the Meta and Google don't really seem to be doing much about it. Although, I mean, our next story touches a bit on that, but yeah, it's even for like influencers and stuff like this story covers where people are getting deepfake to endorse products. And we spoke about it before, but there's just not much regulation around it. So yeah, it's quite tricky to know what's real and what's not. Ads are pretty dodgy these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes life difficult. We should all just unplug our routers and turn off our Wi-Fi. I think that's probably the way forward. Yeah, so just tell people, verify before you trust. Make sure 100% bakes on that it is legit. Check out review sites as well. I think
it's always good. Good bit of research. Trustpilot.
Yeah. I've had to do that with a couple of things recently, and Trustpilot's been quite useful before spending the money. You're like, oh, let me check, and then going to Trustpilot and finding out. Review is the other one, I think, isn't it? And another kind of online review site. Yeah. Right, next one, sir.
Yeah. So it moves on quite well into this one, which is the Liberal Democrats in the UK are asking for YouTube ads to be vetted as strictly as traditional TV ads. Obviously, to prevent scams, celebrity endorsements, and harmful products from reaching customers. I mean, often you don't get a product with these things, but sometimes you might get something that's a bit dodgy, counterfeit and stuff. But yeah, so they highlighted how YouTube is the most, in the UK, is the second most watched media platform.
Yeah,
and operates under much.
You beat me to that.
Operates under a much lighter advertising regime as TV and radio does, where there's actual industry bodies that approve these things, whereas on YouTube anybody can pay to advertise, as you've mentioned. But YouTube have insisted that they enforce strict policies and remove violating ads promptly, but we've seen ourselves, even there was ads that have been up there for maybe not on YouTube, but on Google Ads and Meta as well. Obviously, this is Google, but it seems like the system, I guess they probably have some sort of AI detection, probably isn't working as well as it should be.
Let's not forget how they generate revenue as well.
Well, yeah.
I think that's also important. Not that the TV networks don't, but the TV networks are governed. They are monitored. They do have a standard that they have to adhere to. YouTube doesn't, and fundamentally, they gain a lot of their revenue from advertising. So it's in their interest to keep these things. Don't ask who's paying; just take the money. Almost.
Yeah. This story continues to talk about how the Advertising Standards Authority are supporting Ofcom's obviously efforts for the Online Safety Act, which it says here includes sort of accountability for fraudulent ads. I don't know how much involved that is there, but I think there is more coming from that. The Advertising Standards Authority have reported a rise in AI-generated deepfake ads and fake endorsements from various public figures. It seems to be somewhere where it said that Ofcom are planning to introduce fraudulent advertising code of practice once Parliament approves it. So we'll probably hear more about that.
I mean, it needs to happen. It needs to happen, and it shouldn't just be Google. It shouldn't just be YouTube. I don't know how you govern it, right? And the problem is it's not our problem to solve, but it's like, at what point does it fall under a UK law? Is it if it's being accessed by people in the UK? Because we know Meta, we know Meta's awful at removing adverts, even when they're reported. We've seen it. They're really slow to remove adverts. The deepfake adverts that we've talked about on previous episodes, of not even like big celebrities, but like just influencer level stuff. they're slow to remove them and they allow them. Yeah, it's not difficult to like, maybe with the verification thing, it shouldn't be difficult for them to do this, but where's the appetite for them to do it? What's motivating them to not allow these adverts on? Because they know they're not getting punished for it currently, so they'll take the money. It's not like they're going to face fines of 10% of their annual turnover, because currently that isn't the case. So let's make that happen. If they want, the government want to make the internet a safer place, maybe they shouldn't have been worrying about age restrictions, and they should have been worrying about like all of the scams, all of the dodginess.
Yeah.
This is where the focus should have been first. Like, stop the proper bad guys first. Don't take away our free choice. Stop the bad guys, and then maybe think about taking away our free choice. I don't know.
Yeah. Next story. Yes.
Yeah. So Google has confirmed it was breached in a wave of Salesforce CRM data thefts carried out by shiny hunters that we've spoken about over the last few weeks. The attacks involve sophisticated voice phishing, social engineering, targeting employees to gain access to Salesforce systems and steal customer data for ransom. So in June, one of Google's Salesforce instances that stored contact info and notes for small and medium businesses was compromised, just for a brief period before the intrusion was stopped. So the stolen data mostly included publicly available business names and contact details. Shiny hunters, we spoke about, I think we mentioned them last week and the week before. They're everyone's new favourite, Scattered Spider are gone now, it's shiny hunters. But they've been around for years. Salesforce is a weapon of choice for them. And they extort the companies via ransom demands and then do a double extortion, because then they threaten to sell or leak the stolen data publicly. And they've got Adidas, Qantas, Allianz Life, Cisco, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany & Co. Now they've got Google as well. So what's interesting here is voice phishing. Again, social engineering, voice phishing, human right on the front line. We need to be patching our people for this. This isn't a system that we can't buy a tool off the shelf necessarily and install it and turn it on and we're safer. This is something that we need to slowly mold, move, bake, cook, change. So, yeah. It's, Salesforce as well. Salesforce, so many companies now have moved on to Salesforce. And I'm sure, didn't we say last week, Salesforce said it isn't a problem in their system, it's the way that users implement the system that's the problem. I'm sure they said this isn't a vulnerability in Salesforce, this is just a poor implementation by end users or the way it integrates. Salesforce is just the destination, it's not the front door. Right, I think is what they said. So it's if you run Salesforce, batten your hatches, and you might want to run a red team for stuff like this. Any good red teamer will probably know what to look for. They'll be familiar with the techniques used by this group. So if you've got Salesforce in, now's probably the time to start trying to protect against it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Voice phishing with being the way to get access to this one.
There's a reason that all of the human risk vendors, or a lot of the human risk vendors, like at InfoSec this year, voice phishing was one of the hot topics that people were talking about. And we've seen new vendors pop up. Visha.ai is one of them that we spoke to. We'll probably get them on for a awareness angle interview soon. Amy at the Cyber Escape Room Co., they've got a voice phishing module now. And we've seen others, Adaptive Security have got one. So it's definitely, this is something we're seeing. Adaptive was really good when I looked at that. The conversation I had with Vicious Tool, 2 months ago was really good. So there's a reason these companies are coming out now, because it is the new weapon of choice. This is the way people are getting exploited. So how do we train against that? That's That's the thing. How do we educate people about it? Do we go down the phishing route and do we try and catch them out and then educate them after? Or do we do it in a more kind of arm around the shoulder educational way? That's for organizations to decide, I think. But it seems like both options are out there right now. So if you like your entrapment or you think phishing is a good way to teach people, you have options. If you don't like that, you have options, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the next story, I think, is suspected to be shiny hunters, but there's no confirmation.
Right.
So this one's Pandora, the world's largest jewellery brand.
I never knew that.
Confirmed.
I never knew. Yeah.
Well, let me confirm that's right. But yeah, they've confirmed a cyber attack involving a third-party platform. Surprise there. Seems to be the common theme here. And that's exposed, some customer data, names and emails, but no passwords, no payment details, or other sensitive information has been compromised from what they've said. And Pandora said that they've contained the attack and strengthened security measures. And obviously, they advised customers this quite recently. I think an email, there's some statements on social media as well. Mentioning to be cautious of potential further phishing attempts from this. There's not much new here, but I saw a news story. I think it was Leaping Computer suspect it's shiny hunters, but there's no confirmation yet from either side. So,
I mean, it would fit the pattern, wouldn't it? You know, the brands that they've gone for. Pandora would be a nice addition to that list. It kind of fits their vertical, almost, you know, their niche. Interestingly, I'm a Pandora customer, or I have been, and I haven't been notified that I've been impacted by this.
Right. Okay. I wonder how widespread it was, or they've missed you out, and many other people.
I do wonder whether they've just notified those that are impacted, whether they know that. Whether that notification has gone far and wide. Because I haven't, they've sent emails out to those affected, or to
unfortunately,
their customers. So it's strange that you did and I didn't, which makes me wonder if you've been compromised, but I haven't, or maybe I didn't tick the box to receive emails and you did. And therefore, because I haven't subscribed, they can't send me a breach notification. That would be a weird scenario. Yeah. That would be strange. I wonder if that's a flaw in the subscription.
Oh no, sorry, I've got the email here. Let me bring it up. I can't view in browser. I'll have to do a bit of manipulation. But it says here how this is a service email, and it's not related to marketing. Communications. So it says it means that you'll receive it regardless of your communication preferences. So,
that's good. That's how it should be. I think.
So, well done there. But it's interesting to know.
What does this go? It's good that that's answered that question, hasn't it? Because I wondered that. I was here and thinking, oh, maybe I haven't received it because I didn't tick the box to receive emails. But it doesn't matter. They've sent it to those impacted. I'm pretty sure I didn't receive that. I did check at the time. But yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a Pandora customer, keep an eye out. Your data may have been compromised. It is just names and emails. So social engineering, dodgy emails looking like they're from Pandora. There's no need. It's pretty, the data they've got is probably out there already, but now they know you shop at Pandora. So if you get any offers, that look too good to be true or fake orders, don't trust it.
Cool. Next one.
Next one. This was an interesting one. WhatsApp have deleted over 6.8 million accounts linked to scams in the first half of 2025. So many of these have been tied to organised criminal groups in Southeast Asia, that involve forced labour and use tactics like hijacking WhatsApp accounts, adding users to fake investment group chats. I've had that before. And promoting scams via AI-generated instructions. I think I've had that before as well. So they've it proactively shuts down accounts before scams can go live, and it's added new anti-scam features like alerts when you're added to a group by unknown contacts. That's good. But despite this, it's been argued that Meta must do far more to stop fraudulent content from appearing at all across WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. I think we'd all agree with that. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So they're saying watch out for group chats you didn't join or offers that require payment up front. These are now common red flags. Enable 2FA on your WhatsApp account, and this protects you against account hijacking. So people will hijack your WhatsApp account and then use that to build trust with future victims. So enable 2FA in a WhatsApp account. If you don't know how to do that, we'll put a link to that in this week's newsletter, which you can get at riskycreative.com or sign up by searching for the awareness angle on LinkedIn. So we'll put a link to enable 2FA on WhatsApps in the newsletter. And of course, tools like ChatGPT are being misused to generate convincing scam scripts. If you ask ChatGPT to generate a scam script, it will go no. But there's ways to engineer the prompt that can, for educational purposes.
Yeah.
I need to, yeah. So you've got to tell people that, keep them up to date with the fact that these can look very convincing. They can look real. The old ways of spotting them, bad English and spelling mistakes and poor grammar isn't a thing anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much WhatsApp. Well done, Meta, for doing something. But it's not enough. You need to do more, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Right. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, it's last news one for this episode. So this is a news story on BBC of how North Korea sent me abroad to be a secret IT worker and my wages funded the regime. So this is a story from obviously BBC. This chap called Jin Soo, a North Korean defector, has revealed how he was sent abroad to work undercover in various IT jobs using hundreds of fake IDs, targeting Western companies in the US and Europe. And it says how these workers can earn several thousands of dollars monthly, but 85% of their wages are funneled back to a North Korean regime. And yes, a covert operation involving thousands of workers globally, and obviously raises big concerns for all kinds of things. It's quite a crazy one. Not long ago, I think there was a story, wasn't there, about how maybe it's a cybersecurity company hired a North Korean IT worker
before.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that story out there, which was quite an interesting one. So yeah, this is quite a real threat, it seems. And yes, it's contributing up to $600 million annually for this, for North Korea. And yeah, there's all kinds of problems here. Even like workers are facing harsh conditions. Some are engaging in hacking and ransomware. A lot of identity fraud with these stolen or fake IDs. It's quite an interesting story.
I'm sure I read something about this where someone was found to have like multiple laptops in their room, and they were like signed on with a remote worker with like numerous laptops spread around where they were working from. And it was, just madness really, but how this was working out for him.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. I think we've seen before with these things like face swapping, like a live for like video calls, they face swap themselves to appear as if they're from the country they say they are, with this fake ID or stolen ID. So it happens a lot in interviews as well. Like, yeah, you probably end up potentially interviewing someone that's not actually who they say they are. I think there was a story there as well recently.
We showed a video a good few weeks ago now of someone that was being interviewed, and then they were asked to hold something up over their face, and where half their face was covered, the other half, like the mask was dropped because the face detection software couldn't detect the whole face. So all of a sudden the hair changed, and you could tell that, you know, the ethnicity of the person on the camera changed. And then the interview was immediately terminated, I think. So yeah, that was, obviously you can't do that in every interview. Like, now can you please cover half your face? Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's one to be wary of, I guess, if you're a recruiter or someone that's interviewing a lot of people in the IT sector. Probably come up with some processes. And
I think it's important to know that it can happen to any business and anyone. Like, would you think Know Before was a massive target? In some ways, it could be. You know, you could argue that an employee of Know Before might have an understanding of the security posture of their customers, so they might know the tools they use. But I suppose also Know Before's tooling may have access, if they use direct mail injection, to access their emails. But you know, it wouldn't be really obvious. You know, you wouldn't think top secret, you know, codes or secret diagrams, blueprints, schematics, you know, IP. You wouldn't necessarily think Know Before would be a massive target on that. So I think that just goes to show that if you're sat there thinking, oh, it wouldn't be us, why would someone want to get access to my business? It's like, you probably have something that someone else wants, and it might not be obvious who that person is. So corporate espionage, political, could be anything, just disruption.
Yeah. I mean, it could be as simple as just making a decent chunk of money and funding this regime.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just probably something to think about. And strengthening your verification processes. It's the same for like password resets and stuff like that.
Yes.
And we've seen it happen to even people being hired for a job that doesn't exist, just to be scammed out of their sort of identity even, or money. Potentially, I think we covered a story where someone was asked to pay money to get something beforehand, sort of thing. But yeah. I think that's that one.
Right, that is it for the news this week, which is cool. So just to talk about some awareness. If you didn't know, you should know that, of course, just a few days after this episode comes out is the SANS Security Awareness Summit in Chicago. It's they don't use this strapline, but it's probably the biggest gathering of security awareness professionals in the world each year. Last year's was in Norfolk, Virginia. This year's is in Chicago. I have the privilege of going, which is going to be awesome, and catching up with lots of awareness professionals from around the world. Lots of people that you just talk to on LinkedIn, or you just see on LinkedIn, that you now get to meet in the flesh. And of course, some of our favorite vendors as well, which is great. And we're going to be doing a couple of live streams. So I will be there lunchtime Thursday and lunchtime Friday, streaming live from the communal area in the middle of both summit days. I'll be interviewing awareness professionals, some vendors, getting the buzz of the event. And that I think this hasn't happened before. No one's properly given you the summit feel. You can watch the summit. You should be watching the summit remotely. All of the talks, all of the presentations are available and streamed online, which is awesome. You can get CPs for them as well. But now you can go beyond that, and you can get the atmosphere from within the communal areas, both lunchtimes. So all being well, we'll set it all up, and hopefully Wi-Fi permitting and technology permitting. Yes. So the invites, the Events will be in this week's newsletter. So if you're listening to this, go onto LinkedIn, search for the awareness angle, or search for me, and you'll find both live events. And Sans are going to be sharing those as well. And next week's episode of the podcast, I will be recording from Chicago. So I can let you know exactly what day one has been like and what the atmosphere is like, and why, if you're an awareness professional, you should be asking for budget to go to next year's awareness summit, because it was very good last year. So
cool, yeah, exciting. Yeah. Look forward to it.
It's going to be good.
Remotely.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but
it's going to be good. Yeah. I have some comments from socials. So last week, I've been on holiday this week, so I haven't shared all of the clips that I should have, but we'll get round to it. The last week we spoke about the employee that failed a phishing test and may now lose their job. They talked about receiving 10 phishing emails and one on their first day. Well, I've shared that story on TikTok. And got some interesting comments. If you're an awareness professional that has anything to do with simulated phishing, you'll like these. One comment on TikTok said, worked in IT, client director was keen to do a phishing test on their company. They must have read about it somewhere because it was never keen before. Guess who was the only one who opened and put in their company username and password? They called us before we could say password isn't working for, you couldn't write this stuff. So, careful what you wish for. Someone said, one on the first day can be good. The people who don't get caught probably have some education on them. And the ones who do can be given phishing training as part of their initial training period. But tests without education is ridiculous. A number of comments basically said, refuse to click anything, refuse to work, ask all in-person meetings, request physical documents, ask for postage and mail. The machine eventually stops if you don't play on the same playing field. Someone else said, just ignore all emails. An interesting one suggested using Copilot to scan emails. These tests are less common, but using real-time off requests is diabolical. They must have zero boomers at the office, because at my work, there are people who have never passed one. That's interesting. Someone said, I don't know, I'd just ignore all emails. That's what I do with security training too, and I'm fine so far. So, someone suggested turn off email and go and buy a fax machine. So, I don't know if that's really an option.
No.
So that's it for the comments section this week. One more. Someone did say, honestly, I'd be questioning how 20 plus actual spam scan emails are making it into an employee inbox. Maybe time for the security team to take that massive no before budget and use it for proper email filtering instead. It's often two separate conversations. I've been privileged to those conversations, and having a conversation about email simulations, like you're obliged to do email simulations. Well, we were for compliance purposes, but email security, email filtering was something different, and there wasn't a compliance requirement around that. So that's why that didn't happen. Yeah. Right. A couple of things I wanted to talk to about this week. Not loads and loads, but there was a couple of things I wanted to mention. I saw an awesome post on Reddit. My signal isn't great here, so Luke, you can chuck this in post. I won't screen share it live now, but one of the Reddit things said, we're talking a lot about cutting edge stuff. This was on cybersecurity subreddit. We're talking a lot about cutting edge stuff, but I want to know about the most ancient things you've encountered. Now that even the most change-averse parts of our company get Windows 11, whether they like it or not, I keep seeing more and more interesting detections from USB drives being plugged in before PCs get upgraded. Obviously, we have OneDrive, but why use the company's standard file sync solution when you still have that USB in a drawer that your grandma got you for graduation in 2008? So yeah, and some of the comments here are really interesting. Someone said Windows NT was so secure, you could open the help from the login screen and open another process from the help viewer, and then you were logged in as local system without having entered a password. Wow. Yeah. Someone says an IBM mainframe that was end of life in 1999 connected to a Stratus 4 app database. Someone said once I installed Windows 2000 on a network attached PC, it got hacked before the installation completed. University network without a firewall.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Someone said Windows Server 2003 running the entire production planning system. Of course, it's joined to the normal domain with a domain controller running Windows Server 2012 R2 and remote access software installed on it. There's no firewall rules whatsoever, and unmonitored VPN access that has the same password for everyone with 9 letters and very low complexity. You could have very easily guessed it. That's, yeah. Well, someone said they acquired a company in Brazil. When they went down for a visit, they discovered they had WEP wireless points and they were on the network. So that was fun. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? What some of the old technology that's still out there and the amount of security and just the amount of security problems that brings to us. Awareness isn't always about going out to the end users. Sometimes we need to do security awareness upwards, I think. It's an interesting angle, isn't it? We talk to users about installing patches and stuff, but maybe we should be doing some awareness to our CISOs and to our IT managers, the people that control the budget and keep putting off that system because it works. You know, is that the job of? But I mean, is that the job of an awareness professional or is that the job of a engineer or something like that? I don't know. I would argue that perhaps it was an awareness professional, but that's why I think we need a seat around the table because we are often good at, people in roles like us are normally good at translating that or communicating that message. So that's why I thought that was quite an interesting one to bring up.
Yeah, that's cool.
I nearly mentioned this earlier, but this isn't really a news story. This is from the archives, really. And let me just open this up on my very slow internet because it's streaming and all sorts. So this was a story that I saw on the Next Web. And this story actually dates from 2016. But for some reason it came up, and this can still happen today. And sometimes we can look at old stories to help us tell a story because not everything has to have happened in the last week or 2 weeks because things don't change, okay? So this happened in the NHS, and it was called Reply All Apocalypse. And this article basically reads, don't you hate it when a colleague accidentally sends an email to the entire company only for some beep to hit reply all? And this, I'm sure this has happened in most organizations. This then sets off a perfect storm of anarchy. People will reply back saying, please, can you remove me from this list? Please remove me from this list. You'll get a meme or a joke. And anyway, this happens.
Out of office replies.
Out of office replies. Yep. This happened in the NHS in 2016. And the finger of blame lies with an IT contractor in Croydon who sent out a test email to a company-wide distribution list. The NHS at that time employed 1.2 million people, and the test emails were received by 840,000 users. 840,000 user emails. So some of these took it upon themselves to reply, which snowballed into 168 million emails being sent in a short space of time. 168 million.
It's incredible.
And this went viral at the time. Twitter were like, there's someone posted on Twitter, if you think you're having a bad Monday, a woman just accidentally emailed all 1.2 million NHS employees and crashed the whole system. One tweet said, Roslyn managed to break the NHS during her 3-hour shift today. It's taken the Tories 5 years. So yeah, 2016, this may have changed now. Everyone's moved on to probably web-based email. Maybe they haven't in the NHS. I don't know. But the impact of this meant that some users were unable to access Outlook Web Access, which was the, I believe, the online front door for on-premise hosted email. Exchange servers. I remember configuring Outlook Web Access on an Exchange server 15 years ago. So they removed the distribution list and the emails were being traced and cleared. But it says similar things happened at University College of London and New York University. So yeah, that's an interesting story about, a reply all apocalypse. There's not much of a cyber angle on that, but it's I thought it was interesting. So
yeah, just reading the comments of that Reddit post, someone said that this happens at Amazon every couple of weeks. But they said it's not a massive amount of emails, but company-wide newsletters get sent to distribution like mailing lists, but they get put in CC instead of BCC. And obviously that's maybe something to educate people on the difference. And then I saw something about... Go on.
No, I was going to say, once you've made that mistake, you don't make it again. I've made that mistake before.
Yeah.
Where we've sent newsletters and you kind of like, oh, I've done it. And then you quickly like accept that you've done it and then you don't do it again. You learn from that.
Yeah. Another comment mentioned about reply all storm protection, which I Googled, and Microsoft Exchange Online back in 2019 implemented that feature, which is supposed to stop that impact. I don't know what they have now, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting one.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Right. The only other thing I wanted to talk about this week, because time is ticking, is obviously with all of the Online Safety Act, loads of people have jumped over to VPN usage, and we reported last week that MPs were unhappy that VPNs were being used, and there was even some murmurings about VPNs getting banned and stuff like that. Politico report this week that MPs are connecting to VPNs. So a Politico analysis of MPs' expenses data shows that some senior government ministers are using commercial VPN software, and they're even charging it on expenses. So this includes Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds, who bought a 2-year subscription for NordVPN in April 2024, and Labour MP Sarah Champion, who in 2022 urged the then Conservative government to examine if widespread VPN usage among teenagers could undermine protections afforded by age checks. So the article does go on to say the government has no plans to ban VPNs, but I just thought it was quite funny that there's a couple of MPs there that have actually not only used them, but have charged them on expenses, according to Politico. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
I wonder if
at least they used a reputable company, like NordVPN. Yeah, it's probably still happening right now.
Probably.
Wow.
Right.
I had one story to quickly squeeze in.
Yeah.
Something I saw on TikTok. Let me just share the screen so we can quickly see it. So we'll quickly play this.
Strangers can see your exact location on this new Instagram update. They're being sneaky and didn't announce it. They're doing a slow rollout. Not everyone has it on their feed yet, so you need to watch out for it. This is how you're going to turn it off. You're going to go to your inbox. You're going to look for the world icon. Click on this icon. A map will come up. You're going to click on this top button right here, and this little list will show up. Go to the bottom of the list and click Only Me. My location is private. I don't share it with anyone. My location setting was turned on automatically without my consent. Here's the thing to remember. A lot of us follow random strangers on the internet, and some of them follow us back. Anyone that you're following that's following you back can see your location unless you turn this feature off. A lot of people are saying they don't see the world icon. That's because it hasn't been launched on your account yet, but it's coming. As soon as it shows up on your feed, you need to turn off that feature. Keep an eye out on your inbox.
So yeah, quite a scary one. That seems to be in the new feature for Instagram.
It's
similar to sort of Snapchat for the map and location.
It's frightening, isn't it? It's you do Snapchat, you tend to follow your friends in some ways, or people you know, or at least that's how it used to be. I haven't used Snapchat for a long time, whereas Instagram, you do just watch a funny video and then decide to follow that person to get more influence from them. And some of these influencers who've been I mean, I'm quite successful on Instagram now. I've got like nearly 10,000 followers. But I don't want 10,000 people knowing where I'm located at any one time. So it's I've literally just realised this is now a me problem, which is quite frightening. This was always someone else's problem before, but you get like there's some real hatred towards some of these influencers. You know, sites like Tattle Life. Some people go really evil against some of these influencers, real hatred for some of them. And the last thing they need is their location services being shared. This is one you should tell your people, because, you know, many people will have friends, wives, you know, husbands who influence in some way, shape or form.
Even children
as well. Yeah. You need to turn this off. Definitely need to turn this off.
It's quite a terrifying one. I guess, right now you could probably just turn off Instagram's location access. Android and iOS, I think, can do that. I don't really know why you'd need Instagram to have location in the first place, but I guess for this feature, some people might have had it already on and it's automatically put this on. But one to look out for. Don't know how quickly they're going to roll this out, but comments say they don't have it yet in Europe or UK, so we'll see, I guess, with this one.
Scary stuff. Scary.
But
right. I think that's us probably done for this week then.
I think that's it.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, okay.
Yeah, no.
I will, next time you see me, I'll be in Chicago. So that'll be
awesome.
That'll be cool. Yep, and we'll debut some of the stickers and we'll give you all the lowdown of what's happening in Chicago. So keep an eye out for the LinkedIn Lives. Hopefully the quality will be better than I've suffered some camera quality and some device issues on this one. So it was a good test for next week. So yes, LinkedIn Lives next week will be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Risky Creative on all the platforms. But from me and from you, we'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, thank you. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye everyone.